friends, far and wide, we are live. What's up, everybody? Happy September, happy tasty Tuesday, and happy Bourbon Heritage Month. I am Eric, your humble malt user, and alongside a sleepy Winston the Whiskey Cat, we are beaming the Whiskey Tube signal from the second city of Chicago, Illinois, my hometown. How is it going, everybody? Great to be back after a couple weeks away. And we have a fun show set up tonight, which I will get into in just a few moments. Before I do that, why don't you smash that like? Let's get this thing started on the right foot. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love to have you on board. And, of course, hop on over in the chat. Say hello to some of your whiskey mates who are already chatting, ponied up at that virtual bar. Let me know where you are beaming your signal from, and I will do my best to remember that and call it out for you the next time. We got 10 folks in already, which is great. Cheers, everybody. Let me start off as we always do with a little peruse across the virtual bar here. Who's already here, hanging out, saying hello? Let's get things going. First in the door tonight on a Tasty Tuesday, it's our friend up in Montreal. It's Paul M. What's up, Paul? Cheers, man. Great to see you. Hope all is well. Gerbic is right behind him. Jupiter, Florida. Good evening. Looking forward to this show. Welcome back, Eric, and happy Bourbon Heritage Month. Yes, back at you, sir. Great to be back after a couple weeks away on Tuesday. Hope you guys have been good. There's East Texas in the house. Stormy East Texas. The man with the wrench, Daniel H. How you doing, Daniel? Good to see you, man, and thank you very much for the whiskey samples and the beer that you made find its way to me. I have not got into those samples yet, but that Atticus Atlas was quite good stuff out of Parish Brewing. Man, I had one of those. Delicious triple IPA. Thank you very much. Duluth, Minnesota. It's the one and only Mr. French, the other man with the wrench. Happy Bourbon Month from Duluth. Glass of Baker 7 in the glass for tonight's program. Hey, man, nice pick. I have not had that newer Baker's. I still have a bottle of the old one. I believe it was also 7 years, but I know the new one, there was a 13, and then I think 7. I'm not quite sure. Let me know if that's the newer or the older one, but cheers. Warming up with some early times. Ooh, there you go. Looking forward to getting into some Barrell Bourbon 33 tonight. Excellent. You as me as well, for that matter. There's Paul in the chat saying hi to folks. People connecting. There's Mr. White up in Ontario, Canada. Hello, Mr. White. Store release 1792 full proof I picked up today. Oh, there you go. Those are good. That was my first whiskey review, actually, way back in 2018 was the 1792 full proof. Gerbic's got some Four Roses in the glass. London's in the house, all the way over there in the UK across the pond. It's our good friend, James Morgan. Mr. Morgan, how are you, sir? And there's Mike B. How you doing, Mike? Great to see you. It's been a minute, hasn't it? About 24 hours, give or take. I had the fortunate opportunity to meet Mr. Mike in person yesterday at a bar in downtown Chicago. We had a couple drinks, and he provided me again some generous samples, which we'll be getting into. It was really great to see you, Mike, and cool to get to hang out with a fellow whiskey fan. So raise a glass to you, man. I hope you're doing well, and safe travels back to Maryland. All right, let's keep it going here. Back at you, buddy. Sun Valley, Phoenix, Arizona. It's Leo. Box in the mail for you, buddy. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Jay Coates, what's up, man? Good to see Mr. Coates in the house. Always a pleasure, sir. Hope you have been well. Rabbit Hole Derringer to start. Excellent choice. That was actually my bourbon of the year last year. I absolutely loved that stuff. Greetings to Malta Musa, and the Malt Mongrels. That can only mean one thing. Cohen's in the house out there in Los Angeles, the city of angels. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Yeah, fun night indeed, man. Yeah, we did have a you're back in MD. Okay. Yeah, he and I went to a bar in downtown Chicago last night, and we tried a store pick Templeton 6-year-old single barrel rye. It's pretty tasty. Not bad at all. Right on the other side of Illinois, Quad Cities. It's the boy Chris. What up, Chris? Nice to see you, man. Man, great to see you all. We got 12 folks in. Let's get this thing started. I've been waiting for this. All right. So, a couple things right away. Again, great to be back after 2 weeks away on Tuesdays. So, hope you all have been well. I know I did sneak in a live a couple days ago. So, Quig box arrived. That was really cool. It is Bourbon Heritage Month here in the United States, which, of course, is just it's basically just a proclamation passed by Congress years back to, just honor the tradition and influence of bourbon making and bourbon here in the U.S. To that end, I have 3 bourbons that I kind of span some kind of different approaches to bourbon, some different styles that I have uncorked all 3 bottles, and we'll be trying all 3 for the first time. I have them poured out in front of me. I'm going to let you all know what these are in just a hot second. But I want to mention one other thing. Patreon supporters, in your inbox, early release of this week's review, Balvenie 21 Single Barrel Traditional Oak. That will be waiting for you when you have the time. The rest of the folks that will be dropping on Friday. Again, appreciate your support on Patreon as always. Okay, with all of that aside, let's dive in. So the 3 bourbons, as you may have seen, that I have set up for tonight is Woodinville. This is the straight bourbon whiskey. This is a single barrel pick. The second one is the latest barrel release, Barrell Bourbon Batch number 33. And third, we have Woodford Reserve's Batch Proof. This is a bottle from 2019, so a couple years ago. I was able to get my hands on, and it's supposedly quite a good one. And so we'll be getting into those. Each one of these bourbons has, it's a little bit of a different approach to bourbon. First and foremost, the Woodinville, which we're going to try first. This one comes out of the state of Washington. And so this is really kind of something that's been on the more craft bourbon side of things, been going on for quite some time now, and really been picking up in recent years. Woodinville's been getting a lot of attention. They have some rather unique practices over at Woodinville, which I'll share with you right now. First and foremost, they are from the state of Washington, so they are outside of Kentucky. They actually toast, excuse me, a little bit of a cough. They actually toast the barrel heads, not just the staves and stuff themselves. So a little bit of a twist on things. Toasting, of course, slower burn process designed to kind of get deeper into the wood. You're going to get a bit more spice, a bit more vanilla, be a bit sharper and more edgy. So that's really been their approach to things. Secondly, is they actually do all of their distilling and stuff in Seattle, but they transport their whiskey like a couple hundred miles to another place in the state of Washington where the temperatures are a lot warmer and more varied. So they're basically, they're able to mature whiskey faster because it's warmer as opposed to being right on the coast of Washington. So kind of an interesting thing about their stuff. So this bottle in particular, it does not have an age statement printed on it. This is a single barrel release. It is bottled at a hefty 120.64 proof or 60.32% ABV. No mention about chill filtration on this or not. I did do a little internet research, which unfortunately I had to do to get some information that says this is like a 5-year-old whiskey. They have been putting out a regular standard bourbon that's 5 years old, and that this is probably just right in that 5.5-year-old. So that's what we're dealing with there. The second one we're going to do, Barrell Bourbon, which is a blend. They source from different states, blended together. And the third one we will do, which we'll talk about, is the Woodford Reserve Batch Proof. Woodford Reserve, very classic well-known Kentucky bourbon distiller. This is a batch proof version of their very popular regular Woodford release. So these should be fun. We'll talk a little bit more in detail on each as we get into it. So we're going to start things off with the Woodinville. So first and foremost, that is the color. Again, for 5-year bourbon, we know bourbon is always a natural color because it's illegal to color bourbon. What we don't really know for sure is if they chill filter or not. That is actually allowed. 2019, sorry. If I said 2017, I meant 2019. Yeah, great point. I guess mostly I think the thing that I want to highlight is just the kind of interesting practices that they have. Maybe less whether or not we want to say they're fully crap, but I suppose they fall somewhere in that range, but won't be for long, if at all. Cohen ECB. Oh, yeah, that should be dropping soon. Looking forward to that one. All right, y'all. Okay, so he said so difficult to read. Are you talking about the bottle itself? Let me know, Cohen. Or I'm sorry, James Morgan. Okay. So first one we got here. This is the Woodinville. It is a single barrel, like I said, about 5 years, 60% ABV, basically. On the nose, let's check it out. Let me know in the chat. Anybody had Woodinville before? Would love to hear what you think. They do a bourbon and a rye, if I'm not mistaken. And so I don't know what the mash bill is of this. I'm going to assume there's probably some rye in this. Let's check it out. Wow. Okay. Kind of a fun nose. On the nose, very dusty, musty smell. You got the surprise, oak. A nice, not really a charred oak, more of a fresh cut wood note. Apple, pear. Quite a dusty. Man. It definitely has a smell of a whiskey older than it likely is. So this is really kind of falling on the oak and spice side of things. Not exactly very sweet, although there's a bit of a fruit note in the background here. We will see how far we're able to get into this. I do want to mention the spice, though. Again, there's some interesting spices coming out of this. It's almost like thyme or what is that? Rosemary. Very spicy. Anise, allspice. Yeah, this is definitely a spicy, oaky nose. Let's see what we get on the nose or on the palate. Happy Tasty Tuesday, y'all, and happy Bourbon Heritage Month. Solange Woodinville Straight Bourbon Single Barrel. Mmm. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Damn. Wow. Wow, this is quite a ride. Interesting stuff. Let me do one more quick sip here. Wow. This thing packs a lot of flavor. Okay. Well, the nose was kind of spicy and dusty. Oaky. The flavor is a roller coaster. It arrives really rich, creamy almost, butterscotch, maple syrup, vanilla kind of thing. Hangs around for a little bit, then you get really pummeled with a heavy hit of spice again, slightly tannic, mostly like, again, just assorted spices. This is not your standard baking spices that you tend to get a lot, those kind of Christmas baking spices, the cinnamon, the clove. This is a much more like fresh spices, more like a rye. Yeah, anise, rosemary, thyme. I don't know. The transition's pretty quick. Finish medium, dry, a little bit citrus, apple, like sharp green apple. This definitely has a high rye character to it. I do not know what the actual makeup of this is, but it's definitely got a high rye taste to it. Quite nice. It's a bit on the hot side, as you would expect. This is 60-some percent ABV, y'all. But this is pretty impressive. Bottle of this is around $75 for a single barrel, so it's a little bit higher price range. And you are getting a younger spirit here. Let's try a little bit of water and see what happens with this. Wow, very, very different, which I think is kind of what you need to stand out these days in the bourbon industry. And this one is definitely doing that. Here we go with water. Lemon lime. Much sweeter on the nose. Water, again, my humble opinion, always a good idea to put a few drops on to break up those alcohol molecules away from the flavor, let it really kind of show you what it's got. Boy, that herbal note is just so different. Getting more of the chocolate kind of thing now. So, I mean, again, this is oaky and spicy. I feel like with water, you're getting a bit more sweet. On the nose, at least. Let's give it another taste. Cheers. Wow. Wow. Cinnamon red hot candy. A lot of cinnamon red hot candy. Again, the herbal note's taking a little step back. Much more cinnamon and sweet now. It's almost like a little bit more of a traditional bourbon with water, but again, still a lot going on here. I'm surprised at how rich this is for how young it is. Man, that night there's this nice butterscotch maple syrup toffee thing going on. This is really impressive. Wow. Okay. Busy whiskey. For sure. And but it works. It's working. I'm actually really quite enjoying this. This is a bit of a surprise. Look, I mean, I think the single barrel, the price on this is a little bit much. $75, but this is quite a unique dram. Man, I'm right in that like $375 range on this, to be completely honest with you. I feel like it's complex, but there's enough here. I think it's still very palatable. I think a lot of people would enjoy this. It's grainy almost. Wow. We might have to go back to that one later. I'm happy. I mean, again, uncorkings, I don't give final scores. I'll probably do reviews, but prelim's final on this is 3.75. This is quite good stuff. I'll be really curious to see what more age does in a cask to this. I wonder if it's going to mute some of that spice, which might be actually detrimental to the experience. This is not like any other bourbon I've had quite recently, that's for sure. Right on. That's Woodinville out of Washington. This is the single barrel bourbon, I think 5-year age, give or take. Cool. Well, that was fun. Next, we're going to get into a blend, but first I want to just catch up quick on the chat, see what's going on with y'all, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, there you go. You were talking about batch middle dovetail. Okay. Cast strength at 69 poured right now with you. Oh, nice. Great. Code says, I love Woodinville. Definitely its own profile. You won't mistake it for... That's absolutely true. You got the dusty nose as well. Yeah. I've had port finished bourbon and a cask strength syrup. Good stuff. Nice. Okay. Cohen says, I've had Woodinville port finish. It's good. Only Woodinville I've had. Okay. Heard good things, says Mike. Yeah, this is an interesting one for sure, man. Rosemary for sure. I get like rosemary, lime zest, pine resin, cedar box note. Wow. Yeah. Those are really good notes, bud. Really good. Yeah, for sure. This is interesting stuff, man. Right on. Mexican oregano, he says. The internet says 72 corn, 22% rye. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely a bit of, there has to be some rye in here. And I wonder if that's really where these spicy notes are coming from. Then maybe it's just the rye they grow up in Washington. Hell if I know. Yeah, no, the Armida is that's a whole different animal. Oof, brother. Stay cool, man. 104 in Los Angeles today. God damn, y'all. Bubblegum and blackberry. Bubblegum, yeah. Yeah, that's good. I don't know if I got as much blackberry, but definitely some bubblegum. I tend to get some of those berry notes on things that are, on rye and specifically high rye on the bourbon side at least. Excellent. Awesome, man. Okay, that was great. Well, this is a fun one. Okay, so the next one we got up here is Barrell number 33. And now, as many of you have seen, over the last year or so, I did a blind barrel bourbon tasting of some of the bottles I'd bought and a couple other here and there. This one just came out this month. It is the batch 33. And in full disclosure, this was actually sent to me by Barrell. So kudos to them for the sample. As you know, as I mentioned last week, and to talk to you all about like, hey, should I take a sample? Somebody gets it, and y'all were basically like, yeah, just let us know. So here I am letting you know. So first of all, it's bottled at 116.6 proof, and the age is 5 years. Now, a couple things about Barrell. Now, generally, I've enjoyed most of their bourbons, but they really, I wish would do a better job of disclosing everything that's in here, because this is a little bit, I don't want to say misleading, but it's not giving you the full picture of information that really you'd want to know on these. So, for example, with it just saying it's age 5 years, as a blend, you're thinking about it's like all probably younger stuff. If you go on their website, this one in particular is a selection of 5 year, 6 year, 7 year, and 9 year barrels distilled in, it does say it's from Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee. But that's the extent of it. Barrel to cask strength, et cetera, et cetera. I just wish that they would be, especially for them who's putting out a product like this, I just wish they would get a bit more specific about the different ages in here. You see this with like Bardstown Distilling Company, who is also doing blending, and they're giving a nice breakdown. I'd love to see Barrell do that. But outside of that, we're looking at a cask strength bourbon, like all of their bourbon batches are. I think they do 2 or 3 of these a year, maybe more. I have not bought one since I think batch 30, so this is going to be new. So again, 5, 6, 7, and 9-year-old stuff according to their stuff on the web zone. That is the color. Looks quite nice. Nothing in particular else to mark on this. So yeah, just the latest release from Barrell. And Daniel, man, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you, man. Cheers, man. Very, very cool. Everyone seems to rave about Barrell 33. Interesting to get your thoughts. I'm a little gun shy with Barrell catcher. Yeah, I would say I'd recommend taking a look back at the like 4 barrel blind tasting I did of like some of the late 20 batches. It's a lot of fun. I generally really enjoyed all of them. So here we go with, he's got batch 31. Nice. Hey, and there's Whiskey Nose. How you doing, Marty? Great to see you. Okay, so here we go. Barrell Bourbon Batch 33 on the nose. Ooh. Okay. Immediately, this is This is a bit different than I expected. While I normally get a lot of kind of dark oak, richer notes, this is a much lighter, more effervescent, acidic almost nose. Apple. Wow. Slightly grassy. Little bit of oak in the background. It smells a bit on the lighter side. Very expressive. I actually kind of liked it. This is different. Let me just clean the palate one more time. Okay. I'm not getting, and I usually do on these, is some of that kind of characteristic Lincoln County, Tennessee, George Dickel, lack of a better word, funk. If you've ever had a Jack Daniels or any of the stuff that's from Tennessee whiskey, you know what I'm talking about. This one, and they do use, I believe, either some Dickel in their process. I'm not picking much up at all. Some nice light cinnamon notes. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, let's give it a taste. Barrell Batch 33 down the hatch. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. This is quite good. Let me try one more sip here and then we'll talk about the notes. There's a lot going on here. First of all, viscosity is medium. This isn't overly rich. It's not a lot of dark kind of oak char notes. This is a much more expressive, sweeter floral. A lot of like cherry. There's hints of and slightly herbal. That cherry note is like a dark cherry. Cinnamon. Again, cinnamon red hot candy a bit, but it's not too sharp. The thing that's really interesting about this, so again, this is more on the sweet spice side. As it goes into the transition here, it is almost seamless. I mean, this is a nearly over 58% ABV. Absolutely seamless transition from the palate to the finish. Hardly any punch of heat, which is, I don't know how the hell they do that. First of all, cask maybe. I mean, these casks must be quite good. There's a nice kind of malted milk, caramel kind of nuttiness going on here on the back end. A little bit of lemon. Wow. Man, I got to do a little bit more of this one. It's a ride. It's a total ride. Both of these have been really interesting whiskeys so far. Man, there's almost like a tartar fruit quality to it too. This is just crazy in a good way. The nose is not overpowering at all. And again, this is remarkable for a whiskey that's, I think, up to 9 years old. So it's younger. Some of the other ones, you get some like 13, 14-year-old in it. This, not very driven by, heavy cask notes at all. Sweet and spicy. Nice development. Whole lot going on. Again, yeah, sweet and spice is really what I'd say here. Cinnamon, yes. Fruit, kind of red fruit, or maybe even something darker. Little hints of, your toffee, caramel kind of thing. Medium long finish, a little salty, a little bit of lemon. This is a really, really interesting ride. Dangerously sippable for a cask strength whiskey. Dangerously sippable. Definitely something I think would be good in the summertime. Really good stuff. Let's try some water. Wow, we've had two good ones so far here. Let's put a little bit of water on it. You could really, both of these, the Woodinville and this, I feel like you could really sit around and unearth a lot of different notes on these. Man. A little bit more oak char now, but again, it's subtle. I get a lot of cinnamon, like light candied cinnamon. There's even a hint of like barbecue, like barbecue smoke, sweet. What is the, damn, I can't remember the name of it. There's that balcones that's like loaded with this stuff, the brimstone, whatever that is. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't quite remember. That sweet barbecue note. There's a bit of that. Wow. Sweet and spice. And these spices are gentle but bold. They're not edgy enough. They're not taking over the palate. They're not taking over the nose. Little pickled ginger. Oh, that finish is just unbelievable. I gotta call it like it is. Hey, this is damn good stuff. This is a really interesting kind of change compared to what all of their releases are a bit different, but this one is quite different still, but it really works. This is reminding me more of like the old Bellamy's of yesteryear, like the single barrel 9-year-olds, the single barrel 10s. This has some of that profile, a bit lighter, a bit sweeter, a bit more spice in the replacement of kind of an oak driven flavor. Really good stuff. I mean, this one, these priced around $79.99. Again, pretty pricey, but they're right. It's right there with the Woodinville. I mean, I think this is a 3.75 out of 5 for me too. I think, for me, that's try this, and if you like it, I would buy it for sure. I can't quite see why anybody wouldn't enjoy this one, but it's right in there between that 3.75 and 4, and I'll do a full review of it later. But interesting stuff. I mean, again, these folks are blending, so I mean, they've got some Tennessee whiskey in here. You get little hints of it now with water up way on the back end of the palate here, long finish, but hey, another really solid release from them. What can I say? You're not going to be disappointed. All right, let me check it out. Pretty good after it opened up barrel 31. Okay, yeah, I have not had the 31 yet. Good to have Marty in the house. And Daniel's drinking this along with us. This is so different. Yeah, this, again, both of these have been quite different. And are right there, on the 100-point scale. These are both in that like 80, 88, 89, 90, 91 range, give or take. Quality bourbons for sure. Let's see what Daniel's been saying about it. Grape juice. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Hey, there's our other friend out in the Valley of LA, James Chang. How you doing, buddy? Great to have you in. Right? We have batch 31 and 32 in a private release over there in London. What are these, about $100 over there? British pounds? Mike B's loving the Kentucky Spirit. Really surprised. It was a barrel I picked up at duty free in London. Seriously good stuff from the Russells. Yeah, I liked that one. I actually personally enjoyed the rare breed a little bit more. I think the price is still, quite fair on the rare breed. Those Kentucky Spirits have went up a bit, but that is no slouch whiskey at all. I think I actually have a Eddie Russell pick that I picked up at the distillery. I've yet to open that. I should do that one of these days. It's one of the Kentucky Spirits. Yeah, the lack of heat is really, really crazy, man. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I mean, usually you get some bite on these. How much difference will the younger batches have? 10%, do you think, or more? There's a lot of variables, right? I mean, you got these. I have found generally the ones that I own, the older stuff, you get more of the kind of rich caramel, darker barrel char notes. This one, it could be because of the lighter stuff. It could just be the juice. I don't know. This one is definitely not as much oak driven as I've had in some of the others. And in the others, I would just say, in full fairness, they're not over oaked. Yeah, this is a really interesting dram for sure. I'm going to enjoy drinking the rest of this. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Bardstown Triple. Nice, man. Yeah, very different. I agree. He says batch 27, but yeah, batch 27 was really, really good. Yeah, here you. Mission has the Saffron sale, 39. That's nice. Aloha from Hawaii. Look who it is. This is Dram Dude. What up, man? Good to see you, buddy. Somebody's on vacation. Greetings from Chicago, man. I hope things are beautiful out on the islands. I'm sure they are. Is that a fishing rod? Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a musky rod, actually. Barrel stuff is very expensive in Alberta, but that is the only game in town. Yeah. I was just having a conversation yesterday with Mike B. I guess we met up for a couple drinks in Chicago, and we were talking about how it's really, he had given me a sample of a Canadian whiskey, and it's so far hard to find good Canadian whiskeys here. There's some, but you don't get the access that you get, obviously, or that you think you should for a country right next door, and vice versa. The bourbon stuff, what you can get, is usually really expensive up there. It kind of sucks. Top Shelf D, what's up, Ohio? How you doing, brother? Nice to see you, man. All right, we got 17 folks in. We're going to move on to the third and of these bourbons. Now, again, just for a recap, we did the Woodinville Bourbon Whiskey Straight Single Barrel, 375. Barrel Batch 33, 375, close to a 4, in my opinion. It was really, really good. And now we are going to move on to the third. So we kind of touched on a kind of a crafter whiskey, comes from a different state. We did a blend, and now for Bourbon Heritage Month, we're going to dive into a classic bottled straight batch proof, and that is Woodford Reserve. This is the batch proof 123.2 proof, so this is 61.6 ABV. This is the 2019 release of the Woodford Reserve Batch Proof. Again, doesn't say anything about non-chill filtration on here. We should assume that they don't, because it is, of course, cast strength, but who knows? So again, no age on this, but basically they do limited releases of these. It's literally just their regular stuff, not diluted. So we're looking at a minimum 4 years, as that is the age on the regular Woodford Reserve. I think minimum 4 years. This one, so the bottle price on these, and I should just mention that these are criminally expensive. $129.99 is MSRP, I believe, on all of the barrel, the batch proofs out of Woodford Reserve. Let's see if it's worth it. First of all, that color, though, right? Come on. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, right? New Little Book sounds terrible. Word. Definitely cooler than in California now. Yeah, I've heard the heat wave out there is pretty brutal. Well, I hope you're enjoying it, man. So I did some looking, and locally, the best price I found was $139 for the Woodford Reserve. Yeah. Yeah, these are not cheap. It's I don't know if it's going to live up to the hype. But this is the 2019 bottle. It's supposed to be a pretty good one. Again, this is Woodford Reserve's Batch Proof. Absolutely freaking gorgeous color on this. We know it's a natural color because you can't put fake coloring in bourbon legally. Here's one more look at that. I mean, that is just stunningly good. Okay, let's dive into this thing on the nose. Ooh. Okay, first of all, that's intense. Vanilla, and a lot of it. Cherries, sweet tobacco. I mean, this is just straight sweet. Wow. Red fruits, vanilla, a little bit of spice and oak, but for the most part, I think this one leads heavily on the sweet side of things. Maybe a little bit on the, I wouldn't even argue delicate. It's a little interesting that it's not as bold and in your face. Rather relaxed, chill nose on this, man. It's really not doing a whole hell of a lot to, as far as complexity goes, but this thing is oily as all hell. I'm surprised at how relaxed this is for, again, I can't imagine this is very old. 4 or 5 years. And it's freaking almost 62% ABV. Okay. Let me know in the chat. Anybody had any of these before? They're sure charging a lot for them. So we'll see if this is possibly could live up to its price range. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Oh, man. There's just nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to lie. There is nothing wrong with this. This has about 4 or 5 notes, maybe 4 notes, and it does it really well. Ooh. Chocolate fudgy brownies with like vanilla icing. A bit of cinnamon, slightly dry oak note. Rich, really rich. A little bit of heat, surprisingly tame for 62% ABV. The finish is ridiculously long. I'm getting a little bit of cinnamon, like cinnamon red hot candy. It's like you bit into a fudge brownie, which had little cinnamon red hot candies, a few of them in it. It's just giving you a little bit of that candy coated sweet spice, which has been honestly a trend through all 3 of these has been the red hots. This is decadent, delicious kind of dessert type stuff. Way less heat than I expected. Let's do one more sip. Neat. It has an aura of that, or an era rather, of that kind of just stuffy refinedness that you get out of Woodford Reserve, you know. This is not a rough and tumble, rugged whiskey. This is a refined cast strength whiskey, if I ever did have one. Man. The cinnamon spice, the slightly drying note is warming on the back end of the palate here, but it is not sharp. It is not that hot. Again, a little bit of cinnamon candy, a little hint of licorice. Medium long. Again, just dark fudge, dark lava cake level of chocolate here. But this is a very chocolatey whiskey. Let's try some water on it. I'm pretty impressed. I got to say, I didn't quite expect it. Let's give this another try. Now, again, with these batch proofs, results will vary based on, I'm going to do like 5 drops of water on this, based on the year and the batch. I mean, they're not all going to be the same. This one that we're doing right here, this is the 2019 version. Again, 123.2 proof, 61.6% ABV. My tongue's a little bit numb, but I don't know it. Yeah, the spice is not that intense, not that overpowering. Oh man, I cannot wait to get my hands on that. I did see the news about that, their latest one. Yeah, I got to get my hands on that for sure. I haven't seen it drop here in Chicagoland yet. Again, a bit more spice with water. It hasn't toned it down much. It's just made it spicier. Sweet. Spicy. It's just rounded. Even the spice notes have a nice kind of rounded sweetness to them. It's really quite something. This is straight up decadent, y'all. Fuck, that's good. If you're a bourbon fan and you like specifically the kind of cocoa chocolate notes, this Woodford Reserve boy, let me tell you, this brings it. Not the most complex whiskey. I wouldn't say that this matches kind of the nuance and complexity you get out of something like Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs, maybe even some of the Stag Juniors, the older or the more recent batches, I should say, not the younger ones. This is right in there, man. The only problem here is if this whiskey is worth $130. So this is what I'm thinking about with this. Whiskeys that could compare to this at a different price. Old Forester Prohibition style. That or even the night, it's got that double barrel kind of quality. Old Forester is a real kind of chocolate, dark cocoa, oak-driven root beer effervescence. I think that whiskey could probably compare to this a bit in terms of the profile. And that's about half the price of this. This is a nice whiskey, but I couldn't say that, I would, if I had $130, I would buy it on this again. I think there's probably some other bourbons out there. If you're looking for something more challenging, more complex, is the way to go. But what this does, it does really damn well. It's really hard to fault it for that, but it's just they're asking way too much damn money for it. So I'm going to go 3.5 on this. Damn good, too expensive. Not worth the money for anybody. I don't think that there's any reason to spend $130 some on this, but that is really good. So I'll sit 3.5 prelim score on this. I will do a final review. I never add or subtract to scores based on more than 0.25 based on price. So not going to, this was probably about a 3.75 whiskey, if not close to that 4 range, but come on, man, $130 for a non-age statement bourbon, batch proof. There's too many other ones out there. I mean, you can get 4 Roses barrel selects if you find one at the right places, and they'll be $30, $40 less than this, and they're way more interesting. What this does, it does really well. But I can't say you should run out and blow your wad on something like this. That's just my opinion. Anybody had this? Disagree? Let me know. There we go. That is 3. And you know what? We got a special bonus whiskey that's going to come up here in just a second. Let me just find it. We are going to stick with the bourbons tonight. And the bourbon we are going to do, there's only one person in this room that currently knows what I'm about to grab. We are going to take, and this is again courtesy of Mike Badsley. Again, we got together in Chicago last night. He brought me some incredible samples. Thank you so much, sir. I was just saying, could this even compare to a Four Roses? Well, we're gonna do a little bit of a, not completely fair test, but what I got here is a sample of the Four Roses Small Batch Limited Edition 2016 release, 55.6 ABV. Woo-wee. We're gonna put one of these bad boys in the glass, get this some oxygen, and continue our celebration of sorts of what is they call Bourbon Heritage Month. So Mike B, thank you so much for this sample. I'm going to get this in a nice, clean Glencairn, which I believe I have around here. Oh, boy. Locked and loaded. All right. This thing demands the respect of some time to open up in the glass. So I'm going to give it that and catch up here on the chat. Recap what we've done so far tonight. Let me pour myself a little intermediary dram. There it is. All right. We'll see what this, we'll see how this Four Roses lands. Okay. Let me catch on up here, man. We got 20 folks in. What's up, y'all? Great to be back. Happy Tasty Tuesday. All right. Gotcha. Crazy, really, that the Woodford Reserve Batch Proof is so good. Well, what they put out is so pedestrian. Yeah, really. Yeah, they're double oaked. I've had a couple store picks of it that were, solid, but they're regular stuff. Overpriced. Their rye is not really all that interesting. Yeah. This year's Barrell Proof also meant to be pretty great. Yeah, I'll have to try it one of these days. Glad you're impressed with the Woodford. You did about it. Yeah, well, I found them for $100, so I was like, somebody will want it if I don't like it. This Bardstown is so good. Wish I could share it out. Is that the 2020? No, this is the 2019. So a couple years ago. Yeah, I have not had the 2022. Have you had any of these, Dustin? Would love to hear what your thoughts are too. I'm good with ECBP C batches, only 67. Yeah, you keep still the best value in high-end bourbon, in my opinion. There's Sid Finch. What's up? A bit late, but that's okay. There's always a playback for you if you need it. Welcome to the party. All right. Yeah, it's just the price, man. Come on, $130 fucking for not in the market where there's so many options. I can't see this being that good, but it's a totally damn good whiskey and all itself. Yeah, well, it depends. I mean, I was in Binny's here in Chicago just a couple of weeks ago, and they had like 4 different batches out. I mean, they go relatively quick. I think they were sitting there for like 3 days. It ain't like it used to be, that's for sure. But if you get lucky. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Always, sir. I prefer the regular 12. And the Mission Pig is not as fruity. I see. All right. The weeded Woodford. I've not had that one yet. Solid stuff. That's good to know, man. That is really good to know. I have one around 2019. It kind of sucked for the price, but I liked it a lot less. I do hear this year is good. Yeah, I have not had it at all, but quality price ratios promote to my decision. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just the case for most of us, I mean, every once in a while you can splurge. But bourbon, I find I have a higher threshold for splurging on a bottle than I do Scotch. Mostly just because I think I generally find Scotch more interesting. Cool, y'all. So we are going to keep going. We're about to hit that hour mark. I have a Four Roses 2016 small batch limited edition. Getting some oxygen here in the glass. Just a quick recap. We did Woodinville Single Barrel. We did Barrell Bourbon number 33 and Woodford Reserve Batch Proof 2019. All really nice bourbons. I think the Woodinville and the Barrell are definitely things you can find pretty easily and are worth it. I would give them a try, definitely, if you can, and might be worth just picking up. They're both really, really fun whiskeys. The Woodford, delicious stuff, a little bit on the simple side, way too much money, but, still good. I'm not going to lie. Still damn good. And we're going to roll along and check out this Four Roses in just a second. Just one more time for Patreon supporters, so whiskey review coming out this Friday. Balvenie 21 Single Barrel Traditional Oak will be the review dropping Friday. Patreons, it is in your email inbox now, so you got early access to that. Would love to hear what you guys think about that. Hint, I was pretty impressed. So interested to hear what you guys got to say about that. And we're going to keep rolling here. So let me just pull up a little bit of info on this Four Roses. Let's see. Four Roses LTD edition 2016 small batch. Here we go. So again, this is a sample sent over by our good friend, Mr. David. Michael B. Thank you so much for this. 2016, age 12 to 16 years. Ooh-wee. 111.2 proof. There you go. You don't get much more amazing sounding than that. I have never had any of these limited edition small batches, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I do, however, really love most of the Four Roses stuff I've ever had, including their regular small batch, which I think is really good. I tend to like their high rye stuff more than the high corn mash bills. What can you do? Okay. So again, tail of the tape here, 12 to 16 years minimum. 111.2 proof. Now the recipe is a mix of OBSV, OESK, OESO. For those of you who know what the hell that means. I won't get into too much of the detail on that. I can explain it, but I'll just say that if it's OB, it's high rye. If it's OE, it's high corn. And then from there, you got different yeast strains, et cetera, you know. There we go. Got to laugh at Heritage and these non-well-known whiskeys. Yeah, right. I should have just done like Turkey 101 or something. Yeah, I figured I just wanted to get I had a couple things that I wanted to open, and they kind of span the range of, we got a blend, we got one of these newer craft whiskeys not from Kentucky, and then a Kentucky classic, so to speak. So I figured it would be a decent, but I would throw some Turkey in here too. Missed out on that 2022 Four Roses LE lottery. Yeah, I've never been able to get my hands on one of them. Is it Stephen Connors in the house? What's up, brother? Looks like it's bourbon night. It has been, yeah. Been a while since we did a little bourbon show, so catching up, man. How you doing, buddy? Hope everything's well out there in Tennessee. You also have a 2024 Roses sitting in your house. Oh, that's right. Shit. Maybe we'll have to do both of them. Night is young. All right. User's not trying to sell something every 10 seconds like it's bourbon. Oh, you're talking about the I haven't seen them in a while. I imagine they're probably jumped the shark a bit. Austin Gardner's here. What's up, brother? Yeah, nice to see you. I have a Four Roses Picks OBSQ. I love the OBSQ. That's the one with the high rye and the like funky floral yeast strain or whatever. That one's really good. Yeah, I don't watch any bourbon only channels. Yeah, I haven't really either. I started It's Bourbon Night doing Jaeger bombs, and then too funny. They called their merch store Bourbon Ambitions. The shark was jumped instead of. Okay, yeah, maybe we'll get into that one too. Yeah, I'm not gonna find the malt store, so no worries. Okay. Oh man. This is sweet as all hell. Nice crisp apple note, man. God damn. I love Four Roses. Sweet. And there's the rye. So there's a nice amount of, despite it being a blend of 3 of their mash bills and only one of them having rye, boy, you can taste it. You can smell it in here, rather. Holy shit. Everything is nice and rounded and subdued. I mean, this will probably be the oldest Four Roses I've had. Effervescent, fruity, sweet. Here we go. Again, thank Mike B. Cheers, man. It was great meeting up with you last night, and definitely appreciate the samples. Let's give this one a taste. Cilantro, y'all. Kidding. Cheers. It's bourbon night. Fuck. I had a couple of jokes. I'm going to refrain from the jokes. We don't need to make any jokes. People can hang by their own ropes. Here we go. Holy shit. Well, I can tell you right now, this is the best Four Roses I've ever had. And the reason is really simple. This is incredibly rich. Four Roses is not a whiskey that I always kind of find it to be more on the, a lot of cherry notes, the sweeter rye, kind of spicy. This is incredibly rich. More oak and like caramel, brown sugar notes than I think I've ever really noticed in one of these before. Sweet, peppery, cherry cola, long finish, slightly minty, slightly anise, again from that rye, long ass finish. Man, this is a really, really rich. This is probably one of the most relaxed Four Roses I've ever had, and definitely one of the richest. I don't even know what a bottle of this stuff goes for on non-secondary market. I don't even know where you get these. I'm just going to say, Mike, thank you. This is a real treat. Yeah, going back, I mean, just in contrast to the batch proof Woodford, I mean, yeah, this has probably got 10 years on it, but it's so clearly more complex and more interesting. It's just not so 3-note. There's a lot going on here. Really nice, crisp citrus note. Jesus. But it's wrapped up really nice, man. Vanilla cream, honey. Yeah. Having tasted one here for the first time, I think you're definitely right to want to get one of these. I'm surprised this is a small batch, too. I mean, I'm thinking, like, sometimes they have those limited release single barrels, which I've never seen. Should I make, like, corny-ass T-shirts? Yeah. Colin, you can help me think about that. The kid. I mean, for just the small batch, this is remarkably good. It still has that characteristic Four Roses note, which I kind of define as, again, it's a bit of a sweet, sharp from the rye, cherry, which is something I get a lot in Four Roses. Yeah. This is a top 5 bourbon I've ever had. And I'm just going to say it now. Word. Yeah, look, I'm just going to be real. This is a top 5 bourbon I've ever had in my life. There's no doubt. I can only imagine, man. This is stunningly good. This is up there with some of my favorites, which would be like the Blanton straight from the barrel. Is it the 2019 William LaRue Weller BTAC? Yeah, this is right up there. Just wow, stunningly good. It's so relaxed. And Four Roses is not a whiskey I would ever really define as being a relaxed sipper. I find most of their stuff to be pretty intense, busy. Maybe the yellow label, but I haven't had one of those in a while. I have often said, like 15 years old, whiskeys start to get too oaky. I don't particularly, some of the whiskeys that I've had that are older than that on the bourbon side, Elijah Craig 18, 23, some of those orphan barrels, I just found to be over oaked and really not that impressive. This is really impressive. For something that could be that old, I'm stunned. I mean, I don't know. You put a score on a whiskey like this, it's a fucking 4.5. It's a 4.75. I don't know. I mean, this is at a certain point, numbers are meaningless, and with this one, I think that's probably the case. It's a 5 out of 5. I mean, let's be honest. This is a 5 out of 5. I don't know what the fucking price is. If you could get this at MSRP, definitely a 5 out of 5. I would probably pay over $200 for this, which I know is laughable because they're way more. But for a bourbon, which I usually wouldn't pay more than $100 for most bourbons, this one is right there. Fucking A. Mike, you don't play, brother. Dude, for real. That's freaking great. Yeah, let's do it. Let me find the box. So we're gonna do a little comparison. Why not? Yeah, I've been off for 2 weeks. Let's have some fun. All right. So I think this is the box, bro. I gotta look. Our good friend over there in East Texas. Oh no, this is the blind, which we still need to do. Mr. Daniel H. provided me some really great samples as well as some great beer from his neck of the woods over in Louisiana. Okay. This might take me just a hot second to find that sample, bro. But are these Quig samples or Daniel samples? No, those are Quig. Give me just a second, and we're gonna pour that. Yeah. Give me just a second. I gotta actually wait. Right here. Fuck. Man, y'all. Let me find that box, bro. I need just a minute. I'll be right back, you guys. Sit tight. Wait, it's in the blind box labeled BB. Oh. SD. You said BB? All right. SB. A. BC. BG. BD. BB. That was easy. All right. So Daniel says this sample here is the Four Roses 2020. Absolutely. I would too. This isn't even it's not even a question. So Daniel says this is the one, man. Just making sure. This is the Four Roses limited in the blind box. Yeah. Here we go, man. This is the 2020 Four Roses Small Batch Limited Edition. We're going to do a little head-to-head. Why not? Here we go. Got another glass here, too. Okay, I still have some of the 16 left. So, for the whiskey nerds out there, I want to just... hey, there's Greg McDonald. What's up, brother? Great to see you, man. Solange. We have just moved into the fun half here where we're blind tasting limited edition small batch Four Roses. I've had worse Tuesdays. Great to see you, brother. Hope all's well. Okay, let me just pull up the tail of the tape here on this one so we can do a comparison before we start drinking this. Here we go. Okay. Oh, snap. Okay, so just again, the 2016, which we have over in Glass A, is 12 to 16 years old, 111.2 proof, non-chill filtered. It is a recipe makeup of OBSV, which is their classic one. Like if you ever get the regular small batch at the store, that's OBSV. High rye, OESK, and OESO. The 2020 is four different ones, 12 to 19 years old, 111.4, so 0.2% higher ABV. The recipe makeup OBSV, OBSK, OESV, OESK. So the high rye and low rye of the K and V strains. You can look those up if you want to know what they are. Here's what it says to be more specific. The 12-year-old in this is OBSV, also OESV, and then the 19-year-old is OBSK, and the 16-year-old is OESK. So that's what you got there. I'm going to give this a hot minute just to get itself some oxygen. Looking at the color, this is the this is the 2020. This is the 2016. The 2016 is significantly lighter. Who knows why? But we're going to give that a hot minute just to get some oxygen. In the meantime, I am going to... What was I going to do? Shit. All right, whatever. Stephen Connors had this one. Cool to know. Good to know. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. Coats. Right. Maybe he's lying to me. Maybe this is actually like Wild Turkey 101. I'm going to be like, oh, this is so sophisticated. There's so many great notes in this. Wow, this is one of the best whiskeys I ever had. He's going to be like, psych. That was just a freaking Wild Turkey 101, bro. What's the matter with you? Oh, man. The nose is so good. Definitely the best bourbon of the night on the nose for me. You're doing the 2020? Okay, cool. Okay, let me just go get a quick refill of water here, and then we'll get into this. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. What's up? Okay. Boy, thank you guys both, man, for these samples. This is a real freaking treat. I can't say express my gratitude enough. So, I mean, we talked about the 2016 already, which was absolutely killer. Let's get into some neat sips here on this is the Four Roses limited edition 2020. It's the K yeast strain, the V strain, high rye, low rye piece. So here we go. On the nose. Little pricklier. A lot of cherry and apple. Maybe even orange. Again, man, the fruit notes on Four Roses always something that I tend to notice. This is seriously good. This one's got a little bit more feistiness to it than the 16. I found the 16 to be even more relaxed. But again, splitting hairs here. This is not a aggressive bourbon by any stretch on the nose. More classic Four Roses I tend to notice in this one than the other. It's just very like the cherry note, that red fruit note. Very forward on this. Graham cracker. Citrus. Okay. With the noses, I think I lean for the 16, but both of the noses on this are relatively calm and simple comparatively. Let's give this a taste. Oh, fuck. Wow. Absolute berries explosion. Just grape, raspberry, strawberry, blueberry, all the berries. A ton of it. This is so fruity, so intense. There's sweet fruit notes from the rye. Oh, Winston's up. What up, brother? You want to smell this? You want to hear the dog? No. Winston's unfazed by your fancy Four Roses. Anyway, back to the nose here. This is spicy and sweet. The sweet is fruity. The spice, kind of oak-driven cinnamon. The little bit of the rye, again, which is gummy, like bubblegum, juicy. Strawberries. Just so much fresh strawberry, like strawberry shortcake even. A little bit more spice than the 16. Let me do one more sip. Man, these are both fucking great. I'm just going to say this right now. Oh, my God. Y'all, and I'm not just saying this because I'm drinking these right now. What is your top, whatever, it's Bourbon Heritage tonight. Let's talk about it. One bourbon distiller, your favorite one. What is it? Drop it in the chat. Mine is probably Four Roses. I love the fact that their stuff has got high rye. Most of it does. Brings a spice and a complexity that I just feel like you don't get out of the more weeded bourbons and high corn stuff. I personally enjoy that a lot. Yeah, let me know in the chat. What's your favorite bourbon distiller? Don't think about it too much. Four Roses easy, says Daniel H. What's Greg got to say? Old Forester or Four Roses? Great. Yeah, the Old Forester's a great one too. Turkey's a close second. Was wondering about the hype surrounding the Russell's 13. I had a smell for them. Outstanding. I've not had it. Wait, no, I did have it actually. Now this is another one of these questions where that price thing comes in mind. I wouldn't pay over $100 for it. I didn't find it to be that impressive. But again, I am not the biggest fan of the Russell's line. primarily because the cotton candy cherry confectionery state fair note that I get off of those sometimes is just too much. I prefer the regular Wild Turkey brand stuff, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning on it. It was really good. I just didn't find it to be outstanding, but I might not be the best person to ask about that, to be completely honest. I did just have one sample of it. Turkey. Top D goes MGP. Old Forester are really tight behind Turkey. Bourbons, but the Heaven Hill ECB. That's a great bottle. Turkey. Eagle Rare 10. I'm new to bourbon. Yeah, okay. Eagle Rare is, let me remember, Buffalo Trace? Yeah, Buffalo Trace. Four Roses to me. Their single barrel never disappoints. No, I'm right there with you. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Four Roses, MGP, Turkey in no particular order. Gary Emerson Brothers in Texas is my favorite because they charge more, lesser quantity, and that's the new simp for whiskey. Daniel's had a few. He's got opinions. I love it. Good stuff, brother. I love Four Roses Wild Turkey. I have a bunch of VTAC bottles. Hey, man. I'm not new to, and I love it. Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with Eagle Rare, man. Unfortunately, not that easy to get our hands on anymore. Remember when you could get those pretty easily for $100 or for $40 or whatever? Them days are gone. Oh, what's up, brother? Why are you trying to get outside? Let's chill out. I also like Beam, mostly Knob Creek. Yeah, Knob Creek Single Barrel. Still holding it down, especially since they went back to the age statement on that. It's really good stuff. Yeah, Eagle Rare, great everyday sipper. Okay, anyway, back to these Four Roses here. I'm going to do the side-by-side quick comparison here. Man, that is... Okay, I get it. That was the 2020. Starting to get more of that sugar cookie caramel note. 16. Darker. More oak, more caramel, more toffee, or more chocolate. These are two very different whiskeys. But they're both fantastic. For me personally, look, I mean, I think I like the 16 a hair more, but this is splitting hairs for sure. They're both absolutely fantastic. I don't know. Does anybody know what these are? If you find them, I don't know if you ever see these in a store, but what they actually are at their MSRP price. I mean, the only time I ever see these is on secondary, and it's always insane. Yeah, man. Nothing wrong with an Eagle Rare pick. Do the BE next and see if it beats it. Oh, it's a curveball, but it could take them both on. Oh, shit. Oh, man, it's Tuesday, man. I don't know if I can keep this. I got to keep this on manner mode. It's a lot of cast strength bourbon. Maybe we'll do one more. 150 retail. Oh, you imagine finding this at 150 retail? For any of you all who haven't had this, I mean, this is a next level of Four Roses stuff. It really is. I'm super impressed. It's probably the best, over 15-year-old bourbon I've ever had. Wow. I'd buy this in a heartbeat at 180. As would everybody else, which is why you can't find it, right? Let's try a bit of water on these. All right. Hey, what's up with you? Yeah? Don't be knocking the cartridges over. I know what you're thinking. Here he goes. Hey, don't do it. Sassy ass, man. He's always trying to test me. Here he goes again. Winston, stop it. I'm going to take you down from there if you don't knock it off. Don't be scratching those up, man. I mean, I know you're going to, but just wait. Oh, no, look. He's not going to. Anyways. All right, with water on the 2020. Oh, my God. I don't even know what to say about this. That's so good. The rye is a bit more profound on this, which I'm really enjoying. Get down. This is my life, y'all. It's not that bad. Okay. 16 with water. Really? Man. Ain't that the truth? Oh, dude, he totally wants you. I'm like, yeah. And he loves to sleep up there, so I let him do it. But then it's like, once his energy's restored, he wants to cause problems. And that usually involves, he doesn't scratch it, he just paws at the freaking cartridge bottles. He's got no manners, man. Ain't it? That's real. This is a take your pick situation. Those OE batches in the 16 are really making this richer and again, not quite as spicy, obviously. This is take your pick. These are both, 5-star whiskeys for me. Stunningly good. Stunningly good. You're right. Okay, why not? Should we do one more? What time is it? Oh, wow, we're hour 28. Okay, yeah, let's do it. We'll do one more. So this is gonna be another one out of Daniel's batch. Oh, look who's back so quickly. All right, let's do one more of these, man. Which one am I grabbing? I'm assuming this is gonna be bourbon. Boy, Bourbon Heritage Month better know how much respect I'm showing to it. BE. Okay, BE. Let's find BE. Hey, don't. No. No. Dude, don't think I don't see you, man. I know what you're doing. Come here. All right, fine. Enough. All right, I'm going to pour this BE out, which Daniel recommends we do because it'll, quote, blow my mind. So let's pour that bad boy out. We'll let that sit, get some oxygen. In the meantime, I'm going to continue sipping on these delicious, these delicious limited editions. Watch this. He's going to go up there again. Very rich on the nose, dark, sweet tobacco in there. Okay. And that is not a characteristic Russell's Wild Turkey. I got the equalizer right here if I need to use it. You know what's going to happen. He gets the Piao Piao. The Meow Meow gets the Piao Piao. Ain't that right? Winston, stop trying to take over the show. That's an interesting palate or an interesting nose of the I'm sorry, of the sit down. Of the Russells, because I usually get a very heavy kind of cotton candy, cherry, like candy cherry note out of Russells and out of Wild Turkey stuff in general, particularly the Russell's Reserve stuff. So interesting that you got a lot more dark notes. I don't recall just how much I did when I had this. I'll just be honest. I don't remember being blown away by the sample, and I don't remember any specifics of it. So it's really hard for me to comment on it. I'll just be real. What's up, man? Okay. He's good shit. Old Protero. That's the truth, man. I pay for this place, but it's his place. Fucking kidding me? 3 o'clock in the morning. Terror. Zoom, zoomies. You're drinking an old Black Label Knob Creek Single Barrel. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's get on to this other one. I'm just finishing up Four Roses here, y'all. Give me a second. Limited edition Four Roses small batch. This demands respect and time. Fuck. Why are those so good? I gotta find this. Okay. I gotta slow things down a second here. We got another one here over. This is gonna be the swan song. This is from Daniel. This is Blind BE. We don't even know what it is. It smells intense. Years is youngest whiskey in the bottle. Oh, you're talking about the Russells. Yeah. Which must mean that just like the longer it's in there, I mean, they're just it's taming a bit of that sweet fruity note that I tend to get off Russells. This says any guesses? Oh, on this one? Well, let's check it out. Ooh. It's sharper. Fruity. Hotter than the others. I don't know. My nose is starting to be a little busted, man, from all of these. So it's getting more difficult, but it smells heavy. It smells intense. It smells like it's going to be a pretty dense whiskey. All right, let's give it a neat taste here. Look at those legs. They're not even moving. They're like stuck. Fuck. Okay, here we go. Oh. What? That's not Four Roses. What is this? Is this like a Booker's or something? This kind of tastes like a Booker's. It's got that heat and that like leather note and a little bit of that peanut shell. This is Jim Beam. Well, yeah, is this a Booker's batch? The color is a little, I don't know, whatever. I can't really tell. Maybe it's a stag. This isn't, I don't know. Those young, if this is an older one, and those young stags were so, or the early releases of the Stag Junior were so freaking hot. I think the only good ones were recently. Maybe this is a stag, but I don't know. Dude, what are you doing? Get down, man. Where are your manners? What do you need, dude? I don't know what this is. I'm guessing this is like a Booker's. I really have no idea. Now Creek Single Barrel 14, the bottle is 2020. This is found based off my research. Is that what this is? Or are you talking about something else? Oh, he's got none. Or he has it. This is all intentional. He just wants to troll me because he wants something. Come here. Yeah, he's just fucking around. I remember buying Stag Junior Batch 4. Yeah, dude, I agree. Those early ones, those were really, I found those to be kind of ridiculous. They were way too hot. I never really understood why people gravitated towards them. Now I have heard, and they're much harder to get now, of course, but I've heard that like those have gotten a lot better. Like the batch, starting in like, I don't know, 12 or 13 or something, that they've gotten a lot better. They were just so hot and I don't know. It was, they tasted just like a scatter shot of bourbon flavor with no core definition. It was just hot. It was just hot and not really that enjoyable, even when you put a bunch of water on. I mean, back then it was like ECVP just blew it out the freaking doors. I have not had a Stag Junior in 4 or 5 years. And I know that they're like up near like batch 20 now or something, right? And it seems like folks get really hyped about those now. And I think that they finally figured it out or something, but I was never impressed with those earlier ones. And I had like 2 of them, maybe batch 5, batch 7, maybe something like that. They were just really hot and really, they reminded me a little bit of like, let me think. What is the name of that? Early releases of the Full Proof from 1792. Just so hot that the heat took away from the intensity of the bourbon flavor. It was just too hot. And some of those have gotten better too, but that was my recollection. I don't really chase many of them, but I heard, right around like batch 11 or 12 or something like that, they started getting better. Yeah. It's Knob Creek. So I guess I wasn't totally off. I guess Booker's. And here's what it was. Wow. Oh man, dude. Jason Coates, you are not lying. I still have a couple. I think I have 114 and like a 15 that I haven't opened, and I have an 11. Man, it was just a couple years ago. You could get those old Knob Creek store pick single barrels for like $50, even less. Just stunningly good stuff. Even the regular 9, I think, is one of the best values in bourbon. Even around like $45-$50. They might be a little more now. I haven't bought one in a while, but I got a bunch of dusty ones over here. Actually, let me see what we got here. They have so much dust on them. Oh, so here's one. Look at the fucking dust on this. This is from the South Jersey Bourbon Drinkers. This is a 15-year. Yeah, this is a 15-year-old 2019. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here's a really old one. 14-year-old with that really old label, which was like a couple years back. That's a 14. Here's another one. And here's one of those labels from right in the middle. Philadelphia Whiskey Society. This is a 15-year too. Yeah, man. I think we got these for like 55 a piece. Absurd. So I still got some old ones left, man. Boy, good luck finding those things anymore, right? It's too bad. Those were killer. Okay, yeah, that is what I'm drinking. Agreed. Yeah, no, completely agree. Junior Batch 9 was absolutely killer. They've been great ever since that. So it was 9 is where it was the turning point? Okay. Oh, okay. 12 traded for Redbreast 21. I don't know. I mean, Redbreast 21. Oh, boy. I don't know about that, Daniel. Batch 12 was good, folks, me saying. Okay. Yeah, I got a couple of them, man. I have, and it's like I sold a couple back then, and you know, $55 or something, you give them to your friends because it was like you could just walk into a store, they're just sitting there. Fucking not anymore. I mean, it was the same thing with those Four Roses picks. Those weren't always nearly as easy as the Knob Creeks, but man, you are being sassy. Rich, want some Knob Creek? Slow-mo that. Woo. You used to be able to just find those easy, and they were like the same price as the regular one, right? Now, if you find store picks, they're like maybe 4 or 5 months older than the regular release, like 9.5 years or something. Hard pressed to find some of those old ones anymore. I wish I'd have bought more. You good, man? Yeah, man. Who would have thought? I mean, 3 years ago that you wouldn't have thought they were gems. You were just like, yeah, I'm gonna, you knew you were getting a good bourbon, but like you never expected you'd find a day where you couldn't find these anymore, And now it's like, Jesus Christ, people turn in a hand for one of these. It's ridiculous. That's good to know. Yeah, 50. I still think they're solid. I mean, even the 9-year regular stuff at 50 pop. I mean, come on, right? 60% ABV, age statement. It can be a little hot. It's a good, but the water, it's still a good value. Like Knob Creek is not my favorite flavor in the world anymore, but it's still good. This one, however, wow, that is good bourbon. Fuck. I have never owned a BTAC. I've had some of those BTAC stags, but I've never owned a bottle. Greg, those older KC ports have been magical. They quit releasing them past few years because they're putting out so that they don't even do it anymore. That sucks. What up, Swams? How you doing, brother? Nice to see you, man. Always good to see the Swami in the house. Yeah. No. No, not at all. I found that 12 to be completely lacking. I didn't even buy the 15, which was like, what, $100 some, and less ABV, right? It was like 50. Yeah, no. They got wise. I mean, the bourbon market changed, You used to be able to go in the freaking store and get these dusties. Like I said, I mean, dude, these aren't that old, man. These 3 dusty Knob Creeks. This is probably from 3 years ago. This is a 14-year-old, and I got this for like $45. I mean, this label, right? How much does this is a 15, and then the other one This is like the newer label still. This is probably a year and a half old. And I walked into this place in Jersey that I used to go. And like they had it out there and it was like 60 and I still bought it, but like, oh yeah, by the way, look at the back. Knob Zeppelin. Yeah. They got crafty with it. Yeah, this is 2019 bottling date. So I mean, this isn't that old, man. Good luck finding these now. Freaking ridiculous. I'm glad I kept a few. You know, it was like you go into the store, you're going to buy something, and then it's like you couldn't not stumble across some like 12, 13-year-old Knob Creek barrel. You're like, I gotta spend another $55 and grab this. Because it's like shit, you know, they were everywhere. And now good fucking luck. Even the Binny store picks around here, they're all like 9, you know, they're just 9-year special barrel. Forget that. Message check. Oh, really? Yeah, you know how they get a little gnarly with this. Cheers, man. Yeah, you know, slowly but surely, man. Oh, nice. I think I was following a little bit of that, or you were chatting about that on, you were chatting about like training in one of your bikes or something like that. Anyways. Yeah, this Knob Creek is freaking killer. Sadly, I think gone are the days of, you know, 14, 15-year-old Knob Creek picks. It's amazing in hindsight to think that they were just dropping these. Like, you couldn't walk into a mom and pop. I mean, fucking Total Wine had picks. So the way it goes. I think I have one more, which is an 11-year, and it was a pick from a place around here, and it was like 65, and it was like, ah. But they had 2 picks, and here he goes again. Hey, you want to go to war, dude? Yeah, run. All right. Anywho, oh my God. Are you kidding me? Fuck. Dude, these secondary markets make it hard to drink anything. I was all like, whatever, you know, man. Fucking crazy, dude. Dude, get away, get down. I know what you're up to. Man, you are just nothing but trouble tonight. Chill out, man. Manner mode. Attention. Seriously. Dude, this man going on for like 20 minutes at least. Dude was laying there all night. Now he's up fucking trying to knock the cartridges over. You know how it goes. They do watch hockey. I actually have a... Where is it? I can't find it. That's insane, man. Fuck. So you're saying I can't drink those? Obviously you can't, right? Like I don't want to contribute to the ridiculous bubble, but it's like, come on, man. If I could get $300 for a bottle of Knob Creek store pick from 3 years ago, there's no way I'm gonna drink that shit. That's just how it is, man. The worst part is they're already gone. That's crazy, man. Fucking crazy. I know. Yeah, but like, there ain't no way a $15 knob or 15-year-old Knob Creek's worth I need a $300 drink, man. It's just not. If some fool wants to give me that much money for it, I guess I gotta take it. But I'm not gonna actively push it. Damn. I wish I would have bought 50 of these. Quick story. Just when I got into whiskey, there was a store in DC that was selling this. Bell Mead's cast strength single barrel. This is a 10-year. They're selling these for $69. This is when I first got into really bourbon, and I bought a bottle, And I was so amazed by it. I went and bought another, and I cracked it and started drinking it. And then I realized, like, oh, shit, they might not run out of these, man. So I went up to try to get more, and they had freaking rows of this. They had 3 or 4 rows of these and 6 rows of Macallan Edition 2s, and I only bought 2 of each. Because at the time, you know, I wasn't thinking. This is like 2016 or 2017 or whatever. Dude, if I would have bought 5 of these, it's like these things are going for stupid prices. Now people will pay crazy prices for that. It's good bourbon, but like, come on. And the Macallan, it was like they had them $89 a piece. I swear they had 75 Macallan Edition 2s. They took up an entire section of a shelf. They were just like trying to get rid of them. Nobody wanted to buy it. And I bought 2, like, sure, I'll try a Macallan. I don't know. Man, thinking back on that now, I'm like, fuck. I'd be fucking retired off those. People are crazy, man. People are paying way too much money for this stuff. That's real. It's good bourbon, but like, come on, man. I see these things going for like $600. Are you kidding me? He has no bourbon worth $600. A scotch. Well, maybe a scotch, but I don't know about bourbon. Anyways, all right, y'all. I'm gonna wrap this up here, dude. I gotta get myself a meal, and I've had a couple more than I expected. So, you know, before things get a little too gnarly for a Tuesday, I gotta wrap it up. Great to see everybody after a couple weeks off, man. Appreciate everybody swinging by. Smash that thumbs up on the way out. Leave a comment if you can. Appreciate that. Again, Patreon's Balvenie 21 single barrel reviews in your inbox now. Patreon.com malt user whiskey. I'll be dropping that review on Friday. It's great to see everybody, man. Happy September. Hope you guys are getting in some last minute good festivities for those of us in colder weather. Hey, Brad. Sorry to catch you, man. Great to see you. Sorry to catch you so late. Playback will be up. Much love, man. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so very much. Great to be back on a Tuesday. I'll see you next Tuesday. Not sure what the show's going to be on just yet. It ain't going to be on 3 cast strength bourbons, I'll tell you that. But we will, we'll find something to do. There's always something. Slant Shabbat.